I'm not being funny, my gorgeous Capricornius. I am not being funny at all. But at the beginning of this week, you are going to find out something so interesting about yourself, especially when it comes to you feeling this ridiculously powerful and strong urge to do something really specific you wanted to do for a very long time. What is going to happen to make such an alignment? Well, let me tell you, my gorgeous Capricornius, what is going to happen. At the beginning of this week, you are going to have a quite good news, to be quite honest with you, which is going to make you feel ridiculously happy. And this good news which you are going to have, it's pretty much so to do with a specific challenge that you have been dealing with for a while. And this particular challenge is something really, really personal. So the bottom line is that from the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Capricornius, you are going to overcome some kind of a personal challenge. That personal challenge that you are going to overcome, it's gonna be absolutely one of the most important stages of your entire life. You know, why am I saying this? I know it sounds like, oh my God, but I'm saying this because only now you are going to feel this passion within to do things you wanted to do for such a long time. And now you're not going to care about things that you were caring about so far. When it comes to coming out of your comfort zone, when it comes to doing things you wanted to do, when it comes to doing things and starting things that you had some kind of difficulties with before. I'm telling you that you did not even realize this up until now. Only now you're going to realize how much was all this actually affecting you. Very important indeed, because this in itself is going to create that powerful alignment where you are going to do what you should have been doing for a long time. What is that? Following your passion. This in itself, so it's not only about overcoming a really big challenge, my gorgeous Capricornius, but it's a really big personal challenge, really big personal problem, really big personal issue. Oh my God, so much weight. It's actually attached to this, to be quite honest with you, you know, because at the same time, this is indeed going to give you a courage to make a right choice right now. And you will know what am I talking about here. Okay, to make the right choice. And you are still going to have a little bit of bits and pieces like within you of an old karma that was affecting you to think negatively, you know, about this right choice that I'm talking about here. Trust me, this is going to be absolutely obvious because all this is going to be literally uncovered for you here, my gorgeous Capricornius. So you're still going to have a little bit of like a negative thoughts. You know, you're still going to kind of like you're gonna need to realize that you're coming out of some kind of like a self-imposed restriction, but you really need to, as soon as you have these negative thoughts, and when it comes to like you know, this is coming from the time when you were in some kind of a self-imposed restriction which was caused by all this, for example. So now that karma is slowly but surely coming to an end, but you are still going to feel this last bits of pieces of that particular karma. So you're still going to have a little bit of negativity, but at that moment in time, this is actually going to be a really good sign. Just remember, you're moving on, and as soon as you have a little bit of negative thoughts, when you are knowing, you will know what the right choice is. It's all about that right choice. You know what the right choice is, my gorgeous Capricornius. Listen to me very carefully. So as soon as you have a bit of like a negative thinking, you know, just remember that you need to release baggage and move on. But you need to identify what is this baggage. You need to identify what is this baggage, because a couple of other things have come at the same time to an end where you simply need to start considering moving on, because this in itself is going to really pretty much so, you know, help you to have things in control, especially when it comes to you understanding the direction that you need to follow. This direction, it's but with this a right choice. Okay, so I do not need to tell you what this is going to be. I know that this may sound like a maybe a little bit confusing, my gorgeous Capricornius, but I'm telling you that you're going to be thinking about, you know, about that at the beginning of this week so much. You will be thinking about this a lot. and how I can describe what you're going to be thinking about, it is going to be the right choice. And you're going to be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But trust me, this in itself, it's the actual direction that you need to follow now. You need to follow that direction, because at the same time, this is going to bring a huge reward into your life. Very, very important. It's to do with an important reward, but it's also to do with an independence as well. Okay? And also, my gorgeous Capricornius, what else I was going to say to you when it comes to the beginning of this week, you are gonna, please, this is nothing to do with what I said so far, but also at the beginning of this week, nothing to do with what I said so far. Listen, I don't want to sound like a dark Lala or whatever, but there is gonna be just a little unexpected failure that you are gonna have with something, but this is nothing to do with this what I said so far. Another situation which is going to happen after that, it's gonna be a little bit of an unexpected failure. Now, whatever you feel like that you had an unexpected failure with, I know it's gonna sound really annoying, but whatever feels like that you had like an unexpected failure with, this is gonna be a clear sign and indication to not to move on from that. This is gonna be a clear sign and indication that this is to do with your destiny. Okay, so there is so much more to it when it comes to this particular instance. When it comes to you feeling an unexpected failure with something that is going to really surprise you, this is actually going to be a really good sign. Believe me or not, this is going to be like a blessing, like a very important and rather good omen. And so what does that mean? How can an unexpected failure be a good sign? Well, let me tell you, my gorgeous Capricornius, let me tell you, this is going to be a sign that what you feel like you had an unexpected failure with, that particular thing, you need to put more towards. Almost as if you're going to be on brink of like, oh my God, I had enough. I don't want to do this, blah, blah, blah. No, baby, no. No, baby, no. With this, whatever makes you feel like there was like some kind of unexpected failure, you should be grateful, because at this stage of your life, this is actually going to be a really good and positive sign that on one hand, a lot is going to come out of it. This is going to lead towards you having one of the biggest turning points of your life. But at the moment, it's just really not gonna feel like that whatsoever. So whatever you feel like, oh, have given you like an unexpected failure, this in itself is your sign that you need to work more on it. You need to give more of your energy towards it as much as you can, because you will see it's to do with you putting more effort, even more effort towards a very specific goal here indeed, okay? And the reason why there is gonna be like a bit of like an unexpected failure of something, it's only because, it was like some kind of lack of preparation connected to it as well. But that doesn't matter. Just remember that this is gonna be a really powerful sign and indication, and most importantly, it's something that you must not walk away from. Okay, I really hope this is not confusing, my gorgeous Capricornius. I'm talking about two completely different situations here indeed. By the time you get to the midweek, you know what? Like, this is really irritating me so much, because you are going to come across like, you will find out that someone is taking an advantage of someone, but this person is going to be in your life. This person is somebody who is in your life, somebody who you really love, somebody who's connected to you, somebody who means to you so much, maybe a family member, maybe a friend. Otherwise it wouldn't be showing, okay? Because you feel emotionally connected to that particular person, and you will know that somebody is literally taking an advantage of somebody else. For the love of God, you need to do something about it. You need to say something. And almost like you're going to be worried to say to that person who is very close to you, that person who is so important to you, you're going to be worried to mention something, because you will think that that person is going to take this in a wrong way, that person is not going to understand this, or that person is going to think that you're cuckoo or jealous or God knows what. There are going to be all sorts of things on your mind, but you need to really think about how you're going to do this. And I know that this sounds crazy again, my gorgeous Capricornius, but this is is like your spiritual duty. For the love of God, as soon as you become aware of the fact that somebody is taking advantage of somebody, you have to go to that person who means to you so much, and you have to somehow explain this to them. Explain this to them. But you're gonna be worrying. You're gonna be worried. And let me tell you something, as soon as you become aware of it, there is no need to rush. There is going to be a very powerful sign, an indication that you are going to have. And that powerful sign and indication that you are going to have, it is indeed going to have number 8 somehow connected to it. So whether you're going to see it on your time, wherever you're going to see number 8 or double 8 or triple 8, do you know what I mean? Somehow this is going to be your sign, like an indication. All right, so now I know. Now I tapped into something significant. And now this is my good indication, and this is a very good omen. This is my sign that now I need to go and let that person know that someone is taking advantage of them, because you're following the signs in the correct way, in the correct manner. That person is not going to, take this wrong way, if you know what I mean. And I know that this sounds crazy. I mean, even if you don't see this sign, my advice is, just literally go and talk to that person when you feel the time is right. But I'm telling you that, this sign is going to be very, very distinctive, very distinctive. It's going to be beneficial for you to wait a little bit to see number 8 repeating, or double 8 or triple 8. And as soon as you see this, you just go to say to this person, and you are going to be absolutely fine. Okay, very, very important, my gorgeous Capricornians, to let that precious person in your life know that someone is taking an advantage of them. And I don't want to sound like the darkest Lala in the world right now, but if you don't do this later on, you're really gonna regret, because something is gonna go on another scale here, on a new scale. Do you know what I mean? And so you are preventing something kind of like, I don't know, quite negative happening here. So this is why this is gonna be significant. And also when it comes to the midweek, my gorgeous Capricornians, let me tell you, on a happy note, I mean, this wasn't necessarily a bad note, what I've just said previously, because you are helping someone who's so precious to you, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, so also when it comes to the midweek, my gorgeous Capricornians, you are going to have an important opportunity here. This opportunity, it's also going to be like kind of connected to some kind of new venture. This opportunity, which is going to be connected to this new venture, it's at the same time going to be brilliant, and it's going to make you feel extremely energetic. It's going to make you feel really passionate. It's really going to inspire you. You're going to be thinking what an impact on your life this is actually going to make. And I don't think that you're going to be able to help yourself how excited you're going to feel, because the more you think about that opportunity, the more possibilities about and around that opportunity you are actually going to become aware of, and this is brilliant, because this in itself, this opportunity in itself, there is so much more to it. This is something that is going to make you feel so much so much more optimistic. This is something which is going to bring trust in life. This is something which is going to pretty much bring so much pleasure into your life. But at the same time, you need to understand that this in itself, it's a lot to do with your inner calling and the new phase taking over. I have seen this new phase before when it comes to you, my gorgeous Capricornians, a few months back, and this is going to be a very, very important stage of your life. And I hope that you're not gonna ignore this, because this opportunity is gonna be something very, very special indeed. Just remember, it's to do with your inner calling, and it's to do with the beginning of a new phase. That means that you are gonna have your own like a spiritual awakening here. Why? Because this is to do with your ambition. This is to do with the natural development in life, but it's also most importantly to do with something that you have manifested. You have manifested this yourself. Of course you have manifested this yourself. It's to do with a new phase, starting in your life. It's to do with your inner calling. It's to do with your own awakening. Of course you have manifested this yourself, and this is why you are gonna feel this mind-blowing desire. You're not gonna be even able to explain yourself. Absolutely brilliant indeed. By the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Capricornians, By the time you get to the last part of this week, let me tell you, it's like basically you are really gonna, you know what is actually going to happen? You are going to have a very much so, something very unpredictable, it's actually going to take place. Something very unpredictable, it's going to happen. And you're really going to be surprised. When I say that something unpredictable is going to happen, it's to do with an important information and message which is really going to surprise you. It's really going to surprise you. And that important message that you're going to have, it's really going to put you, like you're going to find like kind of contemplating, because you will know that you're going to need to make a quite important decision here. But that decision is going to be ridiculously wise. And that decision that you're going to have, that decision that you're going to make, you know, it's like pretty much so, it's to do with you forgiving something to someone. You're gonna need to forgive something to someone because you're not gonna be able to move on, you know. So when I say that something unpredictable is going to happen, something unpredictable that is actually going to happen is going to be connected to somebody who has done something to you that you did not like whatsoever, my gorgeous Capricornius. And you're not going to like this whatsoever. But and that's why you're going to be like contemplating, because almost like as if someone is like kind of going to need your help. But before somebody needs your help, you're going to need to kind of like, that's why you're going to go into this stage of contemplation, because it's to do with somebody who has done something negative to you before. But you have no idea what a sacred challenge you're actually going through here right now. You have no idea. So this is like a little challenge, and this is like a little test. Now it's entirely going to be down to you, entirely up to you, whether you're going to forgive to that person or not. Just remember, something unpredictable is going to happen, and somebody is going to need your help, and you're going to be like in two minds. Do you know what I mean? And that's why you're going to be contemplating. And the reason why you're going to be contemplating is because that person has done something negative to you before. This is going to be one of the most kind of weird tests and challenges of your life, because you will do something which is going to surprise you. You're actually going to forgive to that person. And once that happens, I know it sounds really weird, couple of days later, you're going to like you're gonna see few people talking about something and doing something, and there is going to be very interesting something is going to happen which is going to remind you of something that you've been thinking about and like a few months ago. And this in itself, it's going to make you aware of the fact how much do you want to learn something, how much do you want to explore something. Now this in itself, it's going to be so important, because at the same time it's bringing a clarity what to pay attention to. But also on another hand, you know, this in itself, it's really kind of going to also, you know, going to make you so curious, you know, about like this is also going to make you so curious even more, like about something that you've learned like within the last few months, my gorgeous Capricornius. And this is so important because you're going to surprise yourself here, and you're going to realize a very interesting element about yourself as well. That interesting element about yourself as well, it's more about you not giving a full attention to something about yourself that is so amazing, that is so unique, that is so incredible, okay, that is so different. This is when the most sacred part of you is going to come out and guide you towards the very specific direction in life you never knew existed, let alone the way you're going to feel. You have no idea what an interesting stage of your life this is going to be. Indeed, this is again just like about a few weeks later going to lead towards a remarkable situation in life where you are going to find yourself again on like a really, really important crossroads, but this crossroads you've been waiting for your whole entire life. This crossroads is gonna change everything, because it's not as much about choosing this path or another path, but just knowing, like literally, like using everything you've learned so far, using everything you became aware of, so far, taking everything into consideration and understanding things you didn't understand before, and going for the path that you wouldn't normally go for, not because it's completely different, but it's because it's to do with something that takes so much longer and something that would normally put you off. And that in itself is the part of the sacred guidance that you are really every single step of the way. Be surprised with yourself in a good way. This is the beginning of a very special journey, my gorgeous Capricornius, which is ultimately going to lead towards you really making this specific situation when it comes to you returning to something, but that in itself, returning to something, you living your life how it used to be like a long time ago. But I'm not saying that you're returning to things, to your life how you used to live before. I'm just saying that, things you've learned within the last couple of years, now you will be able to, take and use into your own advantage. This in itself is going to open the most powerful door, my gorgeous Capricornius, for you ever. Okay, my gorgeous Capricornius, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. I love you. Bye.